This is Simon Sage with IntoMobile at Mobile World Congress 2010. And we're with Marcus Taylor from Toshiba. Hey Marcus, how you doing?
Hello, fine, how are you?
Good. It must have been a long, busy day for you today?
Definitely. But it's almost over, so I'm looking forward to it.
Almost done. So we've got two new toys from Toshiba here, the TG02 and the K01. Let's take a look at the TG02 here. So what sets it apart from the original TG01?
So the first change is we have a different screen. We have the capacitive screen, so it's very much easier to operate with the finger. The second difference is that we use Windows Mobile 6.5.3. So I can show you what's the difference.
Sure.
If you say, for example, if we go to the calendar, you can see that all the buttons moved down here.
Mm-hmm.
So on the original one with the 6.5 operating system, you always have to, if you want to go to the start menu, you just go this and press the start button. Now you can just go here to open the start menu, which is much more comfortable. And you have as well all the menus. You have, for example, if you want to switch between day, weekly, monthly, you can just click on the icon. So it's much bigger than the small text you had on the device before. Mm-hmm. And what's different is if you see the old TG01 or the operating system we used before, if you want to change the volume, for example, you had to press on exactly that speaker to get the volume. Mm-hmm. And by now we can just click anywhere on the top to get a bigger icons, and then I can say, okay, I want to change the volume, and you have bigger buttons as well here. So there's slightly a few more changes. You have a much faster Internet Explorer on board, which is much better. Takes less memory. So there are basic changes to the operating system, which is much more finger-friendly right now. And we still use the mobile shell 3.5 we used on the TG01. But this time it's a newer version, which also supports hardware acceleration. So you have the mirroring.
That's cool.
You can just tilt it, and you can just
I like that a lot.
Turn it around as you like. And SB Mobile is highly customizable, so you can just pretty much do everything you want to. Change the background, just say, okay, I want this to have another skin, then we have it smaller, bigger, whatever. Cool. You can just drag it around and move it wherever you want to. You can move it around to the next page, so you have different pages you can scroll to, and then just say, okay, what do I want to have? You have Facebook status you can update, you have connection to Twitter. You can even look up your contact pictures on Facebook. So you have your contacts on the device, and you just say, okay, let's see what Facebook or what this person has, what kind of picture this person has on Facebook, and you can just download it and use it for your own contact picture. So that's really nice. Cool. You wouldn't recognize it from just watching at the device, but it's got a little smaller. It's as thin as the TG01, so it's 9.9 millimeters.
All right.
But you have a little smaller on here and on here. Okay. So it fits better in your hand. Right. You may recognize it, and it's very light at the same time. I've had many questions about battery life. That's always a big issue.
Yeah, with a screen like that, for sure.
Yeah. So we're using the same battery on this device than we had on the TG01, but due to the changes of the operating system, due to some optimizations, you have a better battery lifetime. I'm not talking about double the battery lifetime. That's not possible. Right. But you recognize that you have a better lifetime than on the device before.
In terms of a percentage, like what, 25% better battery life? 10%?
I can't really tell you percentage the time, but you recognize that it's definitely better than we had before. So that's about the TG02.
Same camera, 8 megapixels?
Same camera with 3 megapixels, like the one before. Takes videos up to VGA resolution. It's got a little faster than on the TG01, but it's basically the same hardware. So we use the Snapdragon processor again with 1 gigahertz. We have the microSD slot for cards up to 32 gigabytes. So it's basically the same hardware basis, but we have the capacitive screen, we have the new operating system, so it's getting more comfortable.
Excellent, cool.
So that's for the TG01.
All right, and then we have the K01 here behind the protective glass, a slider. So is that essentially the TG02 only in a keyboarded format, or what?
Well, something like that. It's there were a few changes. So obviously the keyboard is one change. We also used an OLED display, which gives you much higher color contrast on the device. But the interesting thing is, if you look at the TG02, it's 9.9 millimeters, and if you add a keyboard to it, it's just 12.9 millimeters. So it's still really, really thin.
Yeah.
So it's probably the thinnest slider you can get right now. So that's very interesting about it. You have the keyboard, you have the OLED display, and apart from that, it's basically the TG02.
Same Snapdragon processor.
Yeah, but still memory and some other things are still subject to change, because we, for the TG02, it will be probably launched the first half of this year. For the K01, we don't know yet. Yeah. So that's why it's on the glass here, and they have a running prototype, since they're currently not as stable as it would need to if we just give it to a customer and say, hey, play with it.
Right. So we're more likely to see the K01 here in the second half of the year then?
Yeah, probably, but still I can't say anything about that, so we don't know exactly. Depends on our partners, and so I can't really say for sure right now.
But I mean,
it's very nice of us.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of partners, do you have any for the TG02? Do you have any carrier partners?
Well, we're just looking for. We don't have anything I can tell you exactly right now.
Right,
so
right.
That's always the sentence you heard before, I guess.
Yeah. No comment.
No comment. Yes.
Excellent. Well, both very cool. Do we have a release window for the TG02 at all?
The TG02 will be the first half of this year.
First half.
So it should be not too far away right now.
Excellent. And I mean, it seems like Windows Mobile 6.5.3 is the big thing on there.
Yeah.
Is the TG01 going to see a similar upgrade?
I don't know yet, so I really don't know. So it's not. I can tell you, I don't know.
Okay.
So I really don't know. So the 6.53 is the version we'll run when we make it available.
Sure.
If there's any updates, we will see. Time will tell.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much, Marcus.
You're welcome.
That is the K01 and the TG02.